gosh.
Literally after the first scene, I was like, oh no, this is already too long. Like, because that first car chase went on so long.
It went on forever.
Again, he was in a Ferrari trying to catch up to like a truck with like a trailer full of it, like car. Like there was no way he should have been behind it for that long. You know.
I didn't understand it.
To the point where we watched every single car fall off one by one. We watched each explosion happen one by one. It was like, come on, like. It was cool the first time, but like 8 times we have to watch the same exact scene, you know. This was tough. This was tough.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic Black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
Alright, so today we watched Bad Boys 2.
Yes, part of our little Bad Boys double feature type thing we got going on. As always, IMDb. 2 loose cannon narcotics cops investigate the flow of ecstasy into Florida from a Cuban drug cartel.
Okay, so IMDb barely tried on that one, but I understand.
I know. I understand too.
Yeah.
Compared to when we just did Bad Boys,
Yeah, a little
lacking a little bit there.
But yeah, I guess as usual, starting off with things we liked about this one. I guess I'll kick this one off.
Yeah.
I thought the Mike and Marcus, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence continued to have good chemistry in this one.
Yeah.
I don't think there was as much of it in this one, but for the moments where they were kind of on screen together, just kind of like talking and like I don't think they were like completely like freestyling or improving, but like for those scenes where they were kind of just like allowed to just be funny, I thought those scenes did work. Yeah, the one scene I did have a scene written down. I had the daughter date scene, the daughter going on that date,
that's
and
literally
then, like,
all I have down too.
That was like it's a great scene, a classic scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun scene. But yeah, scenes like that I thought were good in this one.
Yeah. That's all I had too. Those are my literal 2 points. I like the scaring the boyfriend scene, and then they had good buddy cop chemistry when they were like together.
Yeah.
Even in the scenes that were like didn't work, they like still had good chemistry in them. Like the problem with the scene went beyond their chemistry, basically.
Yeah. That was pretty much all I wrote down I liked how they like brought back a few like characters and like callbacks to the first movie, but even that was just like I needed more notes to put down. So I did like I like their boss. I thought their boss was a little funnier in this one.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed him more in this one too.
Yeah. And then I also like the hacker guy they bring in. They're like really tall, and so I like that too. And then I think there are like a few other callbacks to the first one, like the that's how you shoot instead of that's how you drive kind of thing. So like those are more just cute, like kind of like fun Easter eggs rather than like actually like great things about the movie. But down too. But okay, you ready to get into the negatives?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You want to kick it off?
Sure. This movie, it was a true Michael Bay movie. Like, it couldn't have been more Michael Bay if they tried. Because you mentioned in the Bad Boys, the first one that we did, that you didn't know where you were spatially. That was 10 billion times more apparent in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, every fight / car chase scene lasted 1, way too long, and 2, I didn't know where I was. There would just be like guns and shooting everywhere, and like it's not fun if you don't know where you are, because that's what really like builds the world out and makes the stakes seem much more like palpable. But if you're like, yeah, he's just shooting and like I guess he could get shot, but like we don't know where the bad guys are, we don't know where he is in relation to those bad guys, like it was all so confusing. There was like the first chase scene when they follow Gabrielle Union's character Sid, and that one went on forever and a day. And then they had the one in that like blue room with the drug person, I guess, where Will Smith is standing like this with the 2 guns out. That one went on for too long, and I also didn't know where we were. And then of course the pièce de résistance, the last fight chase scene. Where the hell were we?
Yeah. No idea.
Like,
No idea.
I had no clue. Just all of a sudden, someone would have a rocket launcher and they'd like explode it into a house, and then like something else would happen, and I'm like, how are people still alive? Where are we? Now we're chasing, and then there was a landmine. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And this movie was like honest right from the jump too, because even that first car chase scenes, like by the end of that, I was kind of done with the movie, because like one, that scene went on too long, couldn't tell where you were, and then like the third thing that like really upset me during that scene was there were like three very different vehicles. In the front, you had Gabrielle Union in her like SUV. Then you had in the middle the like giant truck trailer with like multiple cars in it, and then you had like a Ferrari in the back. But for some reason, they never caught up to each other, or like they always seemed to be like just infinitely behind. And then like once they did the thing where they like started dropping the cars one by one, and they dropped every single car, and we had to watch that for like the first 20 minutes. I just knew it was gonna be a long experience of like scenes like that, and that is what it was. Like a lot of just long action scenes that were just like random explosions, like lots of gunfire but no one getting hit kind of thing, lots of running around in like various locations where like you can't tell where you are or how you got there, or even why you're there. That was kind of the other problem. Like the first one, I thought like the plot was just it was like very simple, very generic, but like very hidden in the background. This one, the plot was like super convoluted. Like to like end of the movie, I still don't know exactly what Sid's role was in this, or like how exactly she was involved, or like even what they were doing. Like I know there were drugs involved, but like I don't know how many different like drug dealers were involved, or like who exactly the bad guys were. Like it seemed like at some of the shootouts they had people on their team too. Like there were moments where it fully felt like a Fast and Furious, like where they were like in that thing like planning out schema with like a bunch of random people on the team kind of thing.
That was the end. That was the end, because it was like this weird thing where Sid had gotten taken to Cuba, and then the boss guy was like, we don't have jurisdiction to do such and such a thing. So then I guess they were going rogue, but in going rogue, they had like people from the CIA, from like Black Ops, and all these other people who came out of the woodwork from seemingly nowhere, who were like, count us in to help. And I'm like, where were you? Who are you? Like, why are you so, like... Did they, like, at least in the Fast and Furious, when they bring back a character, like, who has, like, secret ops or whatever, they explain the crap out of it. Like, my gosh. Like, I never thought I'd be defending a Fast and Furious movie, but, like, at least they have better car chases and, like, better in terms of, like, bringing people back. It's like, they'll at least give me a weird ham-fisted flashback to be like, hey, remember this guy? That's why he's coming in to help. And it's like, oh, cool. But this one, it was like these random people showed up, and I'm like, who are you? Like,
no, they were like making a plan with like 8 people in the room, and I'm like, I've seen 2 of you and the 2 main characters. But aside from that, I don't know who any of y'all are. Like, I can't be brought to care about you guys. Like, this one was rough. It was hard to get through, honestly.
That's why literally in my notes I have, gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what happened in this movie. I would just die if you put a gun to my head and said, hey, Danielle, what happens in Bad Boys 2? I'd be like... It's over, man. I'm so sorry.
Like I was honestly like struggling to stay awake during this one, because like again, I watched these back to back, and so like I finished the first one, funny, not the most exciting plot. Then you get to this one, and it just starts off so like just like gunfire, random chase going on for way too long, and that literally is just the whole movie. Like the whole movie feels like it goes on too long, and it does. You know, like this is a sequel that did not need to be 2.5 hours by any means. Like. This could have easily been a 90-minute thing, and it would have been, like, at least bearable, you know? Like...
They could have cut so much.
Yeah, because you could pretty much cut down 20% of every scene just right off the bat, you know? Like, every single scene.
Right off the bat,
last 20% of it just cut off, you know? And then you could make further cuts out of that and, like, actually cutting cut scenes. You know?
Even the random, like, slow-mo bits that we got, like, of Will Smith in, like, the purple jumpsuit, we're doing that slow-mo. And then, like, random slow-mo of, like... when Martin Lawrence is getting the call from his sister or whatever, now we're slow-mo rotating around him, and it's like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, seriously, this isn't serving the movie. Like, I don't know the plot of this movie. I checked IMDb, and I'm like, Wikipedia, and I was trying to read it, and I was like,
And the
I don't understand.
Wikipedia entry is lengthy too, and I'm like, this is like a lot happened in this movie, I guess, but like even reading the Wikipedia entry, I'm like, all right, I still can barely follow this like in written form. Like, I kind of gave up, honestly. Like, it got to the point in the movie where I was like, you know what? This is that movie where I'm just not gonna know the plot. I'm just gonna have to like find other things to talk about because the plot is not happening for me in this one. Dude. It's just not happening, you know.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, this one was hard to get through. Like very, very hard to get through.
Yeah. Know? Yeah, I think my main note was this was like a true sequel movie. I think I said the same thing about Coming to America, but at least in Coming to America, there kind of is a plot in there. Like, if you ask me what happened in Coming to America, the sequel, I could definitely tell you. This one was almost too much fan service because everything I didn't like about the first movie was just cranked up to 11, and it was just like loud and long and kind of confusing, and then you don't know where you are spatially, so that's also like really weird. And like even oh my god, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, because I mean, like in my head, like the first mistake was the length of this. Like, so right off the bat,
this movie is 2.5 hours, guys.
That's already 2.5 hours right there. Like the first one, you don't need to be Bad Boys for 2.5 hours. Yeah. Like the sequel rarely needs to be longer than the first one, especially if it's not like based off like a book or like, you know, something where there's like actual content, you know, like there's just a cash grab. You keep it your 90 minutes, save your budget, you know, and like, you know, people are gonna go to it anyway because Bad Boys 2, Will Smith, like you have the name, like you don't have to force us to sit there for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and this was like 2003, I think. So this was like height of Will Smith power, man.
Yeah. Like I guess they want to get their money's worth. Like we have Will Smith's name. Like let's get as many minutes out of this guy as we can. But like no, like we didn't have to. We did not have to at all. Yeah.
Oh man.
Is we ready for ratings?
Yeah, I think I have something in my eye. Okay. I think I'm better now. Oh my god. I should go first.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Should I give this a rating? Oh my god. Yeah. Like 1? I don't know. This wasn't anything. This was just a bunch of loud noises at me for 2.5 hours. And as good as Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were in their buddy cop chemistry, you guys can keep it.
Yeah.
I don't need to see this ever again.
Yeah, no, I think I'm right about there too at a 1. Like I was thinking 1.5 because like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are fun and like they do bring something, but like I'm like sitting back trying to reflect on what I remember from this movie, and I only remember like gunshots and explosions and like chaos, you know. So like aside from that one scene I wrote down of them like doing like their like chemistry, like I literally just like so much of it was overshadowed by just like this convoluted plot and like random like action sequences that like just felt like chaotic and like you were everywhere at once, you know, and like they just had no order, you know. So like. Yeah, this one was not fun. Like, it was not fun. I did not have a good time, like, at all.
It wasn't even, like, Fast... Again, I'm bringing up Fast and Furious. As, like, convoluted and weird as those movies are, I could still see the fun in them, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I don't think they're the best movies ever, obviously. But, like, I haven't rewatched a Fast and Furious movie, but if you gave me the choice of watching Fast and Furious 9, which is, I think, about the same length, or this movie... Every time I will watch Fast and Furious 9 again.
Because like in this one the stunts weren't even like that extravagant. Like at least in Fast and Furious you're getting like great stunts kind of thing. Like everything.
You get a car chase where you kind of understand it.
Yeah. This one it was literally just the amount of gunfire and the amount of explosions that was over the top. Everything else was like kind of just regular chaos. You know?
Like I swear in the final scene, I swear they put a rocket launcher through that mansion twice.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I swear they did it twice.
We're kind of doing anything in this one, you know? Like, I was not a fan. Final question, do you wish you saw this one sooner?
I wish I didn't see it at all.
Yeah.
And now for some reason I've seen this movie twice. Like, how did that happen? Because I saw this movie before, like a couple years before, like I think early quarantine. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. And I honestly thought I had seen Bad Boys 1, but I guess I saw this one, and This is
Yeah.
that means I've spent 5 hours of my life watching Bad Boys 2. That's not anything I want to have remembered by
That's
me.
not great. Not great.
That's not great.
Yeah. Coming into this one, I really thought I was gonna say yes to this question just because I had already seen the first one a long time ago. And I thought it'd be one of those things like, oh, I wish I saw this one closer, but I'm like, no, like this was not fun. Like, I would have been better just seeing that first one, and just having that as like the lasting impression of Bad Boys in my head. You know?
Yeah.
This one was very rough. Very rough. But yeah, that was Bad Boys 2. Would not recommend.
Yeah.
Just watch the first one if you have to.
Yeah. Didn't you see the
sorry if
third
it was
one?
your favorite
I thought you
movie,
liked
but
that one.
Again, have better taste. We've said this
Or I
before.
hear people like that one.
But yeah, that was Bad Boys 2. YouTube housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions for us, you can leave them in the comments down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays. All of our socials will be linked in the description box down below. And we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Cat.
I just wanted to turn it off. Like, if it wasn't for the review, this is definitely one of those movies I would have just like, you know what? 20 minutes in, I'm gonna watch something else. Like, there's no way I'm finishing this if we didn't have the show to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I even fell asleep for like the last 20 minutes, and I didn't feel like I missed anything. Like,
you did it.
It was chaos when I fell asleep. I woke up, it was still chaos on the screen. I dozed back off, woke up again, still chaos. I was like, you know what? This movie can end. I'm okay on this one.
The amount of times I left to do something else, like, I never was gone for long. I was gone for like maybe 2-3 minutes tops, and then I would come back and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still watching this freaking movie.
Same exact scene,
it's
probably.
Not great.
You know?
Yeah, to the same scene because they all last forever.
That's the thing. Like, you could leave for 3 minutes with like gunfire when you leave. Come back, the same gunfire is going on, and no one's gotten hit. Like, it was like kind of just. I didn't like this. Like.
Yeah, again, Fast and Furious. Even though the main guys never get hit, at least they hit the other people.
Yeah,
at least someone goes down.
Yeah.
So we know how we're progressing. Like, there was no way to know what progress was made because everything just was like started the same, ended the same. But maybe there'd be like a quip at the end about like, oh, we didn't do that. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.